Hello and welcome back to the Minetrek.net game server. This will be an episode update for the Enterprise D. What I thought I would do, since a lot of the episodes with me working on the neck here and the upper part of the saucer were kind of corrupted due to audio issues and whatnot, what I figured I'd do is I'd give you a real quick tour. I believe the last deck we were working on was deck 31 here, or thereabouts. Anyways, but what we'll do is I'll come through here and kind of give you a rundown of all the stuff we're doing. So here we are in the tank here, and on the last episode, well, I guess the previous episode to the last one we just saw, we were working on the ribbing section up in here, and I was talking about putting in a pathway through the ribbing here alongside the tank, and that is exactly what I did. What I did is I bridged across I revamped a lot of this stuff here, if you recall from a prior video where I reworked a lot of this stuff in here and did all this stuff here for the Jeffries tubes and things like that. I had to reposition a little bit of stuff through here in order to facilitate some of the things that we were doing. Now these decks here don't have the benefit yet of some of the design changes for Jeffries tubes, so hence it has this instead of the new stuff that the new design that I'm going with, which means I have to go back through the ship and retrofit pretty much every one of those. And I don't know if I'm going to do that or not, because that would really take a little bit of effort. But anywho, long story short, is we enter the tank. We're in the tank. Now we can come out into the tank, into this area here, of course, and do our fun stuff, and come in here and go into this part of the tank, because this is all deuterium anyways, so bulk deuterium for the 2 impulse engines. The 3 impulse engines, of all fairness. Anyways, you come into here, and I added this section here where you could, basically it's a catwalk, a sealed catwalk along the, because this is huge amount. I mean, if you look at the volume of this tank, it's a considerable amount of fuel. Plus, they can make more, so yeah, it's not like they really have to store a bunch. Plus, we have the 2 huge deuterium tanks on the in the drive hall, or excuse me, the primary hall, and then there are a couple of smaller deuterium tanks, not so big, in the drive hall, which I still have to, sort of kind of figure out how to access those two. But anyways, so I added this catwalk here, or this Jeffries tube, not a catwalk, but this Jeffries tube through here along the side of the tank. Before, this was all ribbing, and I was able to squeeze this in here, and I'm pretty happy with it. Actually, it was a good idea to do this, and it came in. It was a bit of a bear because of these corners and stuff. As you can see, if you had to go through here, you kind of get dizzy and stuff. But we're almost to the end of it here, so just bear with me as we go down through here. And bounce around, bounce around, bounce around, bounce around. Yay! Keep on, come on, we're almost there, we're getting there, we're almost there. Come on, hurry, get there, get there, get there, get there, get there, get there. I'm so tired of these bounce. Anyways, you get the idea. It's not meant to be a comfortable space to walk around it, but what's cool is it's here. Anyways, and from here you can go all the way to the middle section of the deck, which is the area in the middle of the tank. So you can see it up there on the map on the upper right corner. Alright, so, and you enter into here, and of course you have this tank here, which is compressed raw matter, and turbolift entrance, and or Jeffries tubes that go down. And then, of course, you have like a little work area here and things like that. And then on the other side, I think it's pretty much the same thing on the other side. No, we have the control room over here as well. So, but yeah, so basically 2 control rooms. But when you go downstairs, it actually changes, because let's go over here, because this is why the exit for this Jeffries tube is here. You come out this exit here, and you come down here, and you can go into here, and then into this Jeffries tube, which takes you further aft. This is like emergency environmental suits and things like that, in case you actually have to go into this tank, you can, and the entrance for the tank is right here. But yeah, that was kind of a cool thing. And then of course on this side it's a corridor that leads back, or well, not a corridor per se, but more or less I would say an engineering hallway. Yeah, an engineering hallway. Now I haven't put anything in through here and stuff like that. That can all be added later with details and things to fill in these areas here. With new blocks come new ideas, so we always have to leave some room. So anyways, let's go forward here, and I'll show you where else it goes. Of course, it goes to the starboard, or to the port side, and back around that side of the ship. But it also comes forward here And there's a little ladder right here, access ladder, comes into here, and this is one of the new systems. This is a tractor beam unit, which has been added. And of course, if we come around here, we can go up one deck to all this stuff here, which is, if we can get to the signs here, I can't read them, but yeah, this system's been added as well. So, and then we can work our way up, and I think eventually we end up in just below, yeah, we're in the storage bay, one of the storage bays for the torpedo launcher, and this is the cooling system for the torpedo launcher. So, and that's all been added, and this is a pretty neat system as well. And the torpedo launcher is directly above us. Now, let's see here, let's go ahead and go back down, because we're going to work our way down to our current location. Just checking to see if there's anything of interest there, and there's not. Anyways, we'll go ahead and go down one level, and we'll be in a work area here, which will allow me to show you what we have going on here. And there should be a sign somewhere around here that tells me what these are. Well, there it is. The forward sensor cluster sensor systems. So these are more sensor systems right here. And then we come back in here, and it's I believe these are massive structural integrity field generators or something. I'm not really sure. It's not labeled. This area is labeled or was labeled, but I'm not seeing where the sign. Oh, there's the signs. Coolant deuterium storage support systems. Cryo deuterium support systems. Yeah. No, that's for this area here. So this area here was labeled, or it's all part of the cryos. I wouldn't have put this in here unless there was a reason for it, and I'm thinking that I've noticed a lot of signs and things, not with me, but with areas of the ship that have been labeled, the signs have gone blank, and that might be what happened here is the sign went blank. So yeah, anyways, this system here is in. So let's go ahead and stay on this deck and work our way aft and take a look through here. We'll go down the engineering corridor right here, and I'll show you some of the other things that I added. Let's go ahead and go back up one deck here. Anyways, here's the tank. Here are the pumps for the tank, and here's the feeder line, which comes back here. And all this stuff through here is all new as well. Well, new-ish. It's been in since June. Impulse power direct feed regulator and matter tank support systems. Now, if we go up, we can actually see that this is a 2-story plus tall building. Now, the last time I was recording a video, I was showcasing this stuff off, and the system just hangs. For some reason, sometimes when I'm recording, the video will just hang. So if I sit and let it do its thing, usually it just records dead space and silence for about 15 seconds and then starts recording again. Well, that's really annoying. So, yep. And so it was a 2-part video, but when I went to edit it together, my voice sounded like it was on helium. And that's when I discovered that all the videos were really bad for audio. I mean, hideously bad for audio. But as you can see here, all these systems are in. This is the top of the warp core, and the matter injectors and all this other stuff. And I'm really happy with how this all came together through here. I can tell you this was one of those things that I just worked on, and I had to sleep on for a bit, but then the design sort of kind of found its way and things like that. Let's go ahead and look around here a little bit. You can see that it's actually on top of the warp core and goes all the way back, and then we have this thing here which feeds into this part up here. I'm not sure why, but it seems like a logical thing to do. Then of course we have our own little addition to the ship design, the trunk line. I really am happy that we went ahead and put a trunk line in through the entire ship network. That was one of the better ideas for everything. Anyways, see if we can get up. No, we'll just come back here, and then I'll show you back here, and we'll go up another level here. The EPS junction type area. So basically through here it's just a bunch of systems and things like that. You can read what these are. And then this big motor like thing here, these are well, why is that one disconnected? If you remember in Star Trek, the original series, they had those things where you could tap into it. This is just a tap point where if they have a piece of machinery they need to tap into, they can tap into that. But this doesn't matter. Interior, whatever, deuterium processing and caching, 2-deck support system, some system components 3 decks tall. This is 3 decks tall. Look at this. This thing's big. It's really cool looking. I got to admit, I'm happy with how this came out as well. Then of course up here is just, you know, more of the same. Just another level up through here. But let's go ahead and go up there anyways and go around, because I don't feel like clipping through everything. But you can see how it all ties in up through here and come around this side here. You got that access point there and another stairwell down. Turbo lift, of course. And we come back through here. We have a couple of work tables and workstations to work on stuff. And then we have pumps. Anything that looks like this in orange is usually a pump. Deuterium pumps. And then we have this thing system here, which is a couple of decks tall. And it's a large matter tank pump system, ties into inlet. So it's actually, I think, 3 to 4 decks tall. And let's go ahead and go up if we can, which we can't. I thought there was another access ladder that would allow me to go up, but I'm not seeing one here. So let's see if we can do the turbo lift. See if the turbo lift has a means for us to go up by one deck. Of course, we'll probably have to go all the way forward again to do it. So yeah, I'm not going to do it. We'll just go back to the back here and clip up if we have to. It's just a small area up there, but still worth seeing. So let's go ahead and clip on up here, the back of the tanks. Here we go. And 6. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had a ladder or something at one point. I guess I may have inadvertently covered it up when I mirrored stuff. But anyways, as you can see, these are just big pumps to pump deuterium from the back of the ship, the hull. Because right here, if we transition out of the ship, you'll see it right there. Tank matter fill point. Now they can pump deuterium in, they can pump matter in. These tanks are able to pump in both deuterium, and then it processes it over, and then these pumps here feed down and go into. Yeah, I thought I could go up. I wonder why I thought I couldn't go up. Huh, weird. You know, and then from there it can pump matter around as it needs to pump matter around. So it's pretty cool how it works. Anyways, we'll go down the stairwell here. Just a little narrow one. And do another area here for growth and such. Then we come out into here and do a bunch of fusion reactors. And this was kind of fun to set up because I wanted to get all these tubes and fuel and power lines all routed and things like that. Don't mind these. These are just marker blocks. So if I need to, you know, highlight it, I can come around here like this and, you know, have a block like right there. And that just highlights that for me. Oh, crap. Didn't want to do that. Let's see. Well, here's a good point to see if undo works. Yes, undo does work. So I was trying to deselect that, is what I was trying to do, and I inadvertently deleted it. But yeah, I'll come back through here. We got some more pumps, and again, these pumps, if we transition out of the ship, come back all the way back here to here. So, and these are also matter dumps, so if they have to, they can purge matter from the ship through these as well. And it's all, everything works because, you know, matter can be pumped through, these are pumps, and then it goes, you have the main lines through here, and then the pump lines above it, and stuff like that. That you can move stuff any way you want. That's what valves are for. So you can actually move like water and gasoline to the same valves, although I would not recommend it, because your water will always taste like gasoline, your gasoline will always have water in it. So I wouldn't do it, but you can do it. You know, it's all about, but you know, 23rd, 24th century, 2409, whatever this era is, you know, they can pretty much do what they want to do by that point. Why they need tanks and pumps and stuff when they can, you know, just keep everything in like bulk matter form as they need it. They just transport it or transfer it into a, you know, whatever they want it to be in. They're like, oh, we need more antimatter. Okay, take this ball of goo and turn it into antimatter, you know. But yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and exit out into the corridor here. And go ahead and go back to the thing. And again, you just cross the corridor and then you're back into this area here. And we'll walk around here. As you can see, the deck itself has been updated with the new look. And it grows on you. I have to admit, I'm really liking the way the new look looks. And these, of course, are batteries and things like that through here. And storage and stuff like that. Engineering offices. Some cool stuff. Not too much stuff, but, you know, this was a part of the ship that actually didn't have any deck plans, either in the stern block or the Whitefire. So this is all us. We added these in through here because we had the space. And as you find out that a 3D hull, when you actually use 3D or start to build out in a 3D environment, you learn that you know, the hull itself actually has more space than a 2D drawing allows for. So that's a lot of it. So okay, let's go ahead and see if this ladder goes down one more deck, and it does. It goes down one more deck here, and then we have the beginnings of a bunch of other neat stuff. Let's get over here and take a look at it. More additional integrated systems and navigation systems and things like that. So lots of technical babble stuff. Preprocessors. Then of course we have this big open area here, which I have not yet put the stuff in for, but eventually I will. Kind of I already have an idea how I'm going to design that system and such. So pretty stoked. Then we have this area up here. I don't know if there will be windows in this or not. I haven't put any in here because yeah, it's kind of an angular hell, so I decided not to do it. Then of course we have sensor cluster system monitoring. And janks back this way here. Goes along the hull, along the internal corridor, and we're back in this air room right here. And if we go into the center here, we can see that some other systems have been added. Again, we've seen this from below earlier. This little area here on other videos. Well, last video, I believe, or one of the videos beforehand, we showed this system here, and it is there you go. That's what that is. Anyways, oh, looks like I missed a whole corridor here. Well, lucky us. To watch me fix it. Yay! See, every video, no matter how many times I go through this ship, I always find something that needs to be done. Well, maybe, yeah, I'm going to do it this way. And if we want to go back and put it one of the other types, we can later on. So, like one of these types here. If we follow this along here, so blah, blah, blah. Yeah, let's go ahead and do the bottom here as well. Because we can always come back and change it later on when the actual, you know, continuity part starts. We'll go through each deck within a very short amount of time and make sure that, each deck is uniform and has continuity. Then we're up in here, which is, I think this is part of a lab of some kind that somebody set up. Yep, this is a lab. Somebody had some fun in here setting stuff up. It looks good. I guess it's functional, so I mean it does its job. Then of course we have shields and other systems that are on pretty much every deck. Has its own shield boosters and things like that. Fix that. And we'll come over here, and this is another section of stuff I've added, so that's the reason why we're back here. Okay, it doesn't have it. Anyways, this is a tank of some kind, of course. Then we have this stuff here, and this right here should extend down to lower cargo bay complex area. If you come through here, you'll note that this is the area that I raised up by one level. So when you step in there, you're stepping down. Over here, you're stepping down as well. And the reason I did that for this deck right here is so that all these sections here are at least 4 high. This one here would be 5 high, but yeah, it allows me to parse them off. And if I need to, I can remove the floor from this one, and this could become a huge bay of some kind. But yeah, that's pretty much what I did. Now I've been going through here on these lower decks. I've been adding processing units and co-processing units and more sensors and things like that. Like all this stuff through here has been added. And if you go along the edge of the ship, along the edge, you'll see a lot more systems. I think we've covered that in the actual last video. But come down here, one more deck. We've got this big bad boy in here. And these up here. You can pause the video and read the signs if you like. And again, access for parts and coolant and things like that, because I guess they run really hot. And then down here hasn't been added yet. So this is a deflector signal processor. So basically a bunch of processors and stuff. And this is the deck that I believe I'm currently working on. So these haven't been added yet because this is the actual deck that I'm currently working on. And down below us is, of course, the deflector and its adjacent systems or support systems. Now, I am of the mind that I should go ahead along this catwalk here and actually put a glass wall or something along these catwalks, because this is the deflector dish itself. So these rooms here at any point could be depressurized. And that's my concern, is if this is the deflector and they have to pull the deflector out to work on the deflector, all of these rooms will be exposed to space. So, yeah. Should I not have the deflector out? I mean, it looks cool, don't get me wrong. I mean, it looks really neat, but should I not have the deflector, encased in something? I'm sure force fields and things like that would work, but still, they got to have access to it from in this room. So I'm actually considering putting like a little airlock here, maybe an airlock in the other rooms on this deck, and all the following decks, all these decks here would have their own little airlocks and things in here. Like this would be like a little airlock room. Right now it's just marked up as narrow angle gamma ray imager. So, but yeah, these would all be little airlocks, just in case they have to pull the deflector out of the ship. You don't end up decompressing the entire ship. So let's go ahead and buzz on down to the deck we're currently working on. As you can see right here, not deck 42, but right here, this is what I'm working on. I haven't added any of the big systems yet and things like that. So upper part of it, and I'm still working on it. So yeah, we're oh yeah, I did do a little bit of redesign and stuff like that for this deck. So yeah, so nothing major. I mean, just a little bit of a reworking, because these rooms here, this is the same size room, but beforehand there was no access into this room. Now there is. So that's what I've done. And I've reworked this area here. Now let's go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can remember how to get there. Let's try this and let it load. Here are all the deck slices. So if you want to see how to navigate around the ship, you can go onto the Dynamap, link in the description below. And the Dynamap on the lower right corner of it will have all of these. You can look at it from up to down, and you can kind of have it on open, and you can tour the Enterprise. As we work through the ship, I've been putting these slices over here, and it's from deck 1 all the way to the current deck. And that deck is, if I can wait for my speed up here, there we go, way off to the side here, because I didn't know how big these were going to be, first and foremost, so I had to ensure that I had a lot of space available to me for putting out these deck slices. Now that we pretty much have the idea and how they're working and stuff like that, we can rearrange them. Now the saucer slices also have their accompanying neck parts as well, so some of the saucer slices are actually not visible because they're covered up by the parts that would be attached to the neck. And as you fly along here, you kind of see the actual deck plans for each individual deck, and I'm pretty happy with how this all turned out. And again, you'll note that there's a slight, very slight similarity to the Sternblock plans, but there is a lot of our own stuff in here, and quite a lot of ideas from the Whitefire plans as well, because Ed's design was fantastic, and the updated Sternblock stuff was really cool as well. But we added a lot of stuff of our own through here. It's really neat to see this stuff come together and actually see a final product, because beforehand it was just an empty hull. And and all the hassles and all the drama and all the political crap that went on behind the scenes on the server while this was being built really slowed the process down. But chugging along and starting with an empty hull and just building it out and running into all the little issues and bugs and things like that we ran into, I'd say we've done pretty good for it. I mean, I don't know, I figure about 40 hours a week there for a while. I was working on this build, just exclusively working on this build, and I'm pretty happy with how it's come out, deck-wise, deck layout. Of course, now, in retrospect, we realize that the ship is actually too small, and, or too big, who knows. But there's a new hull on the server, and I'm not going to work on rebuilding any more ships. I will help with the new Enterprise E because it's the E, but past that, I'm not rebuilding any other ships. I might. I've actually kicked it around. I'd like to try my hand. I definitely would do the A or the TOS at some point. But Minecraft, it's been going for 8 years now, 7 years for me, and 6 years on the server. And you know, 6 years is a lot of time to dump into a hobby, and I'm pretty happy with what we've accomplished and everything else, and I'd like to keep going on, but it's hard not to get burned out at some point, and that's what we're fighting. A lot of us are fighting burnout, and that's why you see a lot of you know people not on the server as much as they used to be and things like that. But yeah, eventually people will come back to it because this is a lot of fun to do. It's really fun to sit here and you see all the detail that you never will see unless you see it like this. So there is a lot of detail hidden in this ship. Just packed in there. Every little nook and cranny has something to look at, and it's fun that way. But yeah, this is the latest deck. This is deck 35, I believe, and then we hit deck 36, and that is the official hurdle point for the drive hall. And I'm very happy with it. So if you want to come into the server and check it out, of course there's a link in the description below. It is a modded server at this point. Although the Enterprise D herself is pretty much vanilla, pretty much she is all vanilla at this point. You will have to install some mods. And again, the process for installing mods is very simple. You would first run Forge, then you would start your launcher, you would set up a new instance, you would select that Forge install, you would save it, launch it, the game. Once the game launches, you would exit out, you would go to your Minecraft folder, you'd go to your instances, and or your mods folder, and you would dump all the required mods into the mods folder, and then you would run Minecraft again, and it would load those mods that we use on the server here, the required mods, and then you're able to log into the server. And updating is very simple. All you would do is replace the updated mods by removing the old mods and placing the new mods into the updated mods back into the folder. So it's a little more time consuming because you have to, of course, set up a separate instance for it, but it really isn't that hard. It's just, some people get nervous doing that kind of stuff, and it's understandable. It's extra steps that people don't like to do, but really it's not that hard, and it pays off because you get to come onto the server and check stuff out. And I don't know what M's plans are for the future. She might actually have a small public server with current builds for people that don't want to go modded, and that server actually might even get updated to the latest version of Minecraft, in which case we could actually come in and put dolphins and some other blocks and stuff like that into it, which I personally wouldn't mind doing, but it's M's server, so it's her decision on what she likes to do, and I support anything that she decides, because she's afforded us this great opportunity, and to build these wonderful ships, and without her, none of this would be possible. I tried to build the Enterprise D years and years ago. That's how I actually got into doing Minecraft. That was my overall goal. So for me, this is full circle, coming around, finishing her up. But yeah, I tried to build it, including building the hull myself, and it was an abysmal failure. The Galaxy. If you want to see part of that, I guess it's still up on Planet Minecraft and such. But anyways, I do appreciate you taking time to watch. Again, this is the Minetrek.net game server. If you feel like donating to the server, there's a link in the description below. All donations are greatly appreciated. They help maintain the server and keep the server up and running, and pay for the ISP and all the other wonderful stuff that costs real money to keep going. So anyways, and also like us on Facebook, if Facebook is still a thing, which I don't think it is. So yeah, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Bye.